Welcome to a new week. I am walking from John O'Groats to Land's End. This week we continue our journey westward. I feel like it's fulfilling some childhood dreams. I can't keep on walking, I don't know what I'm going to do. Woo! Good morning. So I need to get packed up, I need to get going. As you can hear, it is raining, but I've got a long day's walk ahead of me. I need to cover 20 miles today, I think, and at least some of it's in the bog. This first section. Goodbye little sheepfold. What a nice place to spend the night. Taped my feet up this morning, got some plasters on all my blisters. My feet are already soaking. I've been wandering through this bog for over an hour. It's been pretty tough going, and now I've come face to face with a deer fence. I'm gonna have to climb it. Things have got pretty intense. The ground is so uneven, so tusky and boggy. Oh, wow. I cannot explain how difficult that last section was. But I'm back at the deer fence. I'm on the roads now, and I'm going to be on either roads or forestry estate roads, like 4x4 tracks, for the rest of the day. I'm thinking to try and save my feet a bit, I might actually swap socks, put a dry pair of socks on, hope it reduces the blisters. I'm hoping to stay in a bothy tonight, so I should be able to dry these socks off. So I've just checked on my phone. I've got about 6 miles on the road, but in total I still have about 20 miles left. I'm now wandering through Kinbrace, which is a tiny little village collection of houses, but it's actually on the national rail and it's got a train station. There are some big timber lorries that use this road and they come flying past. But apart from them, it's pretty easy. There's a toad in the middle of the road. He won't move. Come on. We've left the road behind, and the rain that was just non-stop, incessant, has passed on over the hills. And now we're on quite a nice, like, sandy track, which is actually really nice to walk on. Which is a good thing because my feet are very sore. The blisters are really kind of painful. This landscape is immense. It's so vast and sparse. I just haven't seen anyone for days. I nearly always just walk without anything playing, but I'm going to actually put my headphones in. I'm listening to The Children of Hurin, which is a Tolkien. It's like before the Lord of the Rings. It just feels very fitting for this landscape. That road just kept going and going. I think I was finding it slow going because my feet are in pain and I've been powering through, but I'm a bit worried about what I'm going to see when I get to camp tonight. Finally come into the valley with this massive lock. This is the lock that the bothy is next to. Now I have just a couple more miles to get to the other end of the valley, and then I can stop for the day. But my word, it's been a long day, very wet, and my feet are not good. This valley is really beautiful. There's all these native broadleaves, there's like birch and stuff, and lots of ferns, and it just feels really lush, unlike some of the other landscapes I've been walking through, and even the other side of the lock, to be honest, which is pretty barren and bleak. This feels like a hidden little lush valley, and it's on the shores of the loch with little sand beaches. Right, we have a bit of a problem. The bridge has collapsed and the river is in full flow. I mean, it's still flowing pretty fast, but I managed to cross there safely. Nice wet feet. Hopefully not too much further. No more drama would be nice. But it's just an incredible amount of water here in Scotland. This is midsummer. The path is just overflowing. All the drainage ditches are full to the brim. It's just incredibly wet. As tired as I am, I've just had to stop and admire the view. It's just incredible. And I'm the only one here to enjoy it. Reached the end of the lake and I can just see a little roof in front of me. Oh, I've made it. Seeing that roof has lifted my spirits. I'm so excited to get my shoes off and eat a pot noodle. This is so cool. It's a proper little tin shack right on the shores of a loch. This place is amazing. I love it so much. It smells of like resin and tar, and they've left wood and pots and stuff. Oh my word. Thank you so much to the estate for doing this. This is amazing. It's pretty stormy out there tonight, so I'm just going to listen to my audiobook and just sip a tiny bit of whiskey. This is just what I needed after today. Today was really tough. Right, that's me then. Night, guys.
Hello everybody, coming at you from La Bamba. I'm back to living in the van. I've managed to find myself a pitch to rent on a campsite in Cornwall over the summer, and yeah, back to living in the van. I really like it here. The people are so nice on the site. It's just a really cool, chilled out, friendly, quiet site. I really like living the van life, but stationary. I don't have to worry about the services. I don't have to worry where I'm going to get my water, empty my toilet, where I'm going to have a shower. It's 15 minutes drive away from my work. I can walk to the beach from this campsite. I want to say thank you to Rosetta Stone for partnering up with us again on this video. It's a brand that we can really get behind because we absolutely love learning languages. Tom does struggle, but he found that Rosetta Stone was really helpful for him. I've always loved learning languages. I chose languages right up the way through school. Then I went to South America when I finished uni with my sister. In South America, you needed to speak Spanish, and it was amazing. We could speak to locals, we could catch buses, we could communicate, and it really transformed our time. I don't want to lose my Spanish. So when I chose Spanish on Rosetta Stone, I just said I was an intermediate. I've chosen the course Travel.
Un hombre y su gato.
Un hombre y su gato.
I'm really enjoying just speaking Spanish again.
Un hombre y un perro.
My sister is off to South America again, so I might send her a couple voice notes in Spanish and maybe we can communicate together. Hola mi hermana, ¿cómo estás? Estoy aprendiendo español con Rosetta Stone. If you would like to try Rosetta Stone too, then you can use our link. It's in the pinned comment and the description, and this will give you 50% off. Now, I really recommend the lifetime subscription. The benefit of this is you don't have to worry about having like a monthly outgoing. Just pay it once, then you've got it forever, and you've got access to all of the languages there. So yeah, if you want to try it too, please use our link, and hope you enjoy, guys. I'll give you guys a tour of my setup here. I mean, those of you who've been around for a while, you know La Bamba. Not much has changed. Sorry Tom, I've bagged up Tom's clothes because he's gone for like probably 3 months on this walk. Sorry Tom, they're just in the front, just to make myself more space and watch all the rom-coms I like on our little TV here. I am really enjoying the coziness of the van. And it's really different living in here, just me, actually. I do like the fact that like I can wake up whenever I want, get the blinds open, put my BBC breakfast on. I definitely miss Tom a lot. I do feel quite jammy because I'm very cosy. I've got everything I need here. It's weird because Tom is out there in the wilderness with very little signal in these rural parts of Scotland. We're kind of going by the whole no news is good news rule, because otherwise I'll worry. You know me, I do get a bit worried. Right now, I don't really know what he's been up to. I'm really looking forward to watching the videos too. I've got a big summer with weddings, hen-dos, holidays, which is obviously I'm really excited for, but it means that I couldn't go away for a big chunk with Tom on his pilgrimage. I'm hoping that I'll get to join him in about a month for a couple of weeks, so stay tuned for me in an upcoming episode. You know me, love walking, love hiking, love backpacking. I know it's brief for me today, but I hope to be back very soon, and you might see me in my hiking gear in a tent. Love you guys.
I woke up today and the weather is really bad. It's raining and I've got a lot of river crossings between here and the Craskin. And after 2 days of heavy rain, I think it's probably best not to risk it. And there's signs in here of a missing person who went missing this time last year, and they're my age. So I just want to be careful and I don't want to push it. So I think I'm going to stay in this bothy an extra day. I've got enough food and it would be good to give my legs a rest. Listen to audiobooks and maybe even try and chop up lots of this firewood for other people when they arrive. Use a bit of my energy. The day has actually turned into quite a nice day now. It's about 5 o'clock, clouds have mostly cleared. It's actually really nice. See you in the morning for a big hike over the moors. It is 7 AM. And we're on the road again, off out into the mountains. Goodbye little bothy. What an amazing little spot. My feet are feeling a little bit sore, put my shoes back on to be honest. I've got a coffee for the road and I've got this hill to get over. I was going to go to the Craskin, which takes you through that amazing looking valley, but we're heading straight to Leg instead. I love my stay in that bothy. Thanks so much to the estate for building that and upkeeping it, and also everyone else who uses bothies. It's such a communal thing. I was cutting wood to try and give something back. There's a whole load of logs for whoever comes next. If you want to get involved with bothies, want to find out more, go check out the Bothy Association website. I'll leave a link in the description, and they've got loads of information on there and ways you can get involved and volunteer and stuff as well. So, my next target is up and over this hill, out into the next valley. Before I take it on, I need to delayer because I'm already sweating. There are quite a few river crossings today, which makes me really glad that I waited that 24 hours. That one was a bit of a challenge to try and cross with dry feet, but I mostly managed it. If it was later on in the day, I might have just trudged through. I'm tackling the hill, and it's tough going. I'm hoping I can get a signal at the top, just to send a couple of messages to let people know where I am. I don't like the idea of people worrying about me. Oh, feeling this hill. I'm up and over the hill. I'm into the valley on the other side. And now I just follow the river the whole way down. I feel like it's fulfilling some childhood dreams. I grew up reading Beyond the Deep Woods, watching Willow, getting read Lord of the Rings as a bedtime story, and these quests, I don't know, it's something I've always been drawn to. I love it. Now that the rain seems to have subsided a bit, the midges have found their wings and they're hungry. Just spotted this like shed, could be a bothie. Looks like a good place to stick some smidge on, so let's go and explore it. It looks like it's just a pigeon hotel now. Used to be a stable. Better close it back up. I've been walking down this pretty nice like estate track for hours and hours. It's been pretty rainy and I've come to this road. And this, believe it or not, is actually an A road. This is the main road from Leg to Tongue. I need to follow it for a few miles this way and that'll get me to Leg. Leg was my first target. It's my first place I can restock. My legs are doing great, my back's doing great. It's just my feet. My feet are really bad. I can't keep on walking like this. It's so painful. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I've reached the hustle and bustle of Leg and it couldn't come soon enough. My feet are very sore. My shoes just feel super tight and every step is digging into my heel. I don't know what I'm going to do, whether it's a trip to the pharmacy or maybe order a new pair of shoes or both. I am camped up outside Leg. I was planning on staying on a campsite tonight, and in fact I kind of needed to stay on a campsite tonight just to charge all of my electronics. I wanted to try and edit this video and it would be nice to have a wash and stuff. But it turns out I walked to the wrong campsite. I knew there was a campsite in Leg and I saw it on the OS map. It said campsite and I was like, well, perfect, that's the one. Walked there. When I got there, it was only for static homes. They didn't accept any tents or anything. It turns out it was 6 miles back the way I'd come and my feet were in so much pain. And I just thought, there's no way I can walk another 6 miles back the way I came. So I went to the hotel and I've had a couple of pints and a nice big meal. I charged as many things as I could. Because I'm charging drone batteries and stuff, which take ages to charge, I'm still pretty low on power. My feet are, I don't know whether to show you or not. My feet are not very nice. I went to the pharmacy in Leg and I just bought everything that looked like it could help. At the moment there's just a lot of pain. I want it to be a fun walk. I don't want it just to be pain all the way to Cornwall. In Leg I was planning on staying in the campsite to recharge all my electronics and to have a wash and all that stuff. I actually found a river and just had a wash in the river. I walked past some bog myrtle and it's got a very pungent smell. It smells really nice, like eucalyptus. And it's meant to keep insects away and act a bit like a soap. So I'm going to use this in the river. That has done wonders for my mood and my smell. I foraged a couple of things. I foraged a new staff, a little walking stick, and I also found a couple of mushrooms, some chanterelles near my camp, which I cooked up and had with some soup. The exciting thing is, that means that mushroom season has started, so I'll have my eyes peeled from now on, looking out for seps, chanterelles, anything else I can eat. So we've got about 2 miles of road walking and then we are off onto the Cape Raft Trail. I woke up in the woods this morning and had a very slow morning. Decided to try and sort my feet out to some extent. So I put a blister plaster on, bandage plaster over the top of that, and then tape over the top of that. As this goes on, I just feel I'm becoming more and more of a hobbit. Soon I'll lose the shoes altogether. I've been walking in the valley of the River Oiko, and with the low cloud ceiling and this mist in the air, there's this like hush, it like quietens everything. The only sound is just running water, there's streams gurgling, there's water dripping, and it just feels like everything's had a damper put on it. The Oiko Bridge Hotel unfortunately doesn't open till 10:30, so no black coffee for me. This is the point that I joined the Cape Wrath Trail, and I should probably check which direction I need to go. The weather has very unexpectedly turned. We've got blue skies. It's gorgeous. Look at these scenes. I can't believe it. The weather is so changeable. Chill wind just picked up, and I've just had thunder over that mountain over there. We could be in for a bit of a downpour. That shows just how quick the weather can turn. From blue sunny, whoa, fork of lightning right in front of me there. We're about to hear a very loud crash of thunder. It feels almost biblical. It feels very different to sitting in a home and watching a thunderstorm outside. It's that same sense of awe, but it's all around me. I feel very much at the mercy of the gods. And I'm walking into it as well. I wonder if I'm going to be able to cross it. You can hear the thunder still rolling, and the amount of water coming off the mountains is just crazy. It's just, I've been walking almost this whole time, at least ankle deep along the path. Somewhere to seek refuge from this storm. In a beautiful location, and it's definitely the biggest and creepiest bothy I've ever stayed at. It is weird, it's definitely got some haunted vibes about it. But look at that lock on the outside. Right, I need to get some water, have some food. Au revoir Pascal.
Au revoir.
Au revoir, bon voyage.
Bon voyage,
Oh. I can't get out of the door. I was hoping the weather would improve today, but it looks grey and dreary and very poor visibility. I have a river to cross today, which in the guidebook there's a bit of a warning for it. So it was a really nice day. I'm glad I got to dry off a little because I was very wet yesterday. Pascal cycled past looking very wet and tired, and we started talking, and she'd never heard of a bothy, and I explained it, and she was very excited to know that she could stop for the day because the thunder was rolling and the rain was falling. I've made it to the end of a loch. This is Loch and Damp. And the good news is the mist seems to have lifted slightly. I'm leaving the nice estate roads I've been walking on, and I'm heading into the bogs of the Cape Wrath Trail. After a short while stomping over the moorlands, come across this valley, and you could almost walk right past and not know it's there. What a beautiful little hidden valley. So I now follow this Glen Dockery up the hill. It really does feel like something from Tolkien, and the fact that you can't see it until you're right on top of it, this little hidden valley where the Piskies live. I've really been enjoying today. My feet feel a lot better. My blisters are quite bad, but last night the skin actually came off the blister on my left foot, and today it feels much better. I think maybe it had been pulling on the skin before and causing quite a lot of pain. I feel like I can walk pain-free for pretty much the first time since day one, and I'm really enjoying it. To be honest, I really enjoy the bogs and the muddier places. Once your feet are wet and you stop trying to keep them dry, you can really just enjoy stomping over the moors. The weather is beginning to turn, which is quite fun, at the moment at least, because this landscape is incredible. I'm loving it. Just being out here in the elements, and there's nobody. Woo! I've been approaching these ruins, and it turns out they're already occupied. There's a whole herd of cows. What are they doing out here? There's literally nothing for miles up behind the cows. I've got to climb probably about 3/4 of it and then skirt around the side of it before coming down on the southwest side, and then I'll be on the coast. I'll be on the west coast of Scotland. I'll have crossed the entire country. Wow, pretty wild. I do kind of love the wild weather. It feels very much like a real adventure. I'm at the height I want to be at. Visibility is very poor. And it's very wet, boggy ground. And I'm back at a path after a few hours slogging through the wilds. I've got to say, I'm really thankful to have GPS on my phone. I've paid for OS maps, and I've downloaded all of the maps I need for the Scottish section of this walk offline. Today would have been very difficult navigation with a map and a compass because the visibility is so poor and the landscape so featureless. But I'm back on the track now, and I'm going to start descending into the valley. And every now and then I get breaks in the mist, and I can see these huge cliffs on either side of this valley, just breaking through the mist. It must look incredible when the mist is lifted. Wow, it's nice to be able to see more than 10 meters in front of myself. I've just ducked off the road for a second into the woods because I've just spotted this mushroom here, and I thought it was too early in the season, but this is a sap. It's a little bit over for me because you can dry it when it's like this and use it as like a powder, but obviously I'm just carrying stuff in my backpack. So I might set up my tent and go on a little mushroom forage and see if I can find some younger ones in better condition. My camera ran out of battery and it was so wet. I've just quickly put my tent up and tried to keep all the wet stuff outside. So I've got my clothes hanging up there, my tent, my coat, it's all absolutely soaking. But I did manage to find a couple of mushrooms. Wow. Seps, porcini. So I might cut these up and have them for dinner with some rice or something. I'm so pleased to be in the shelter. It's been a long, wet day. The sups are out, baby!